Hi everyone, this is Ariane Crane, and I'm up with my 5th scrapbooking process video. And here I am showing you what I'm going to be using. Some scraps of paper, a hexagon punch from Stampin' Up. Here I'm punching out some hexagons with the punch. And as you can see, I have that white die cut placemat by Jillybean Soup, the hexagon one. And for my background paper, I have some of that cardboard that comes with your kit, to hold the pattern papers so they don't bend. It's chipboard, I think, and I cut it to 12 by 12 because it was 13 by 13, I think. And here are some scraps of paper that I had from last year, from Stampin' Up. And I trimmed them all up so that I can use them up because my bin of scraps was getting too full. So here I am gluing down my die cut hexagon placemat, and I use my quick dry adhesive. And here I am just placing all the hexagons that I punched out of my scraps of paper and trying to figure out how I'm going to lay them out on my layout. I knew that I didn't want to fill the whole layout with hexagons. I wanted to be able to see the chipboard behind it. I just like that look. So here I'm just deciding that I need a few more. So I'm going to punch a few more hexagons out of my scraps. And sorry that I haven't done many more videos. I've been sick quite a bit lately, and it seems like just when I get better, I'm better for a few days, and then I catch some other different virus. So it's been very annoying this winter. And also last week I had a long work week, so I worked 5 12-hour shifts with 2 days off in between, and I didn't get very much done. So between trying to stay healthy and working, I've been pretty busy. So here I'm gluing down all my hexagons, and I'm just using some repositional adhesive. And I'm really liking the way that this is looking right now. And I thought that this would be a good way to use up my scraps. And I've chosen the photo. This is a photo of my mom and her oldest sister, and then 2 other ladies that I don't know who they are. And I started to cut it with my scissors, but then I decided to use my trimmer, which hasn't been working very well. I really am not liking this trimmer. And I backed the photo with some white cardstock from my stash. And I really love this photo. It's a vintage photo of my mom. I don't know if she was married yet in this photo or not, but the 4 ladies are all dressed up really nicely, all done up. And my mom has a really nice handbag, and her sister too has a really nice handbag. And my daughter pointed that out to me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, look at the nice purses they have." And so I really love this photo, and I just had to scrapbook it. And it turned out they must have used a good camera to take this photo, because it turned out really well, even though I printed it at a larger size. I tried to use some of my scraps for layering, and I didn't like it, so I took one of those small little Stampin' Up doilies and cut it in half, and that's what I decided to use for my layering. Here I'm just trying to figure out what else I'm going to do next. And I'm trying out this little bag, but I end up not keeping it there. And the die cut that says fabulous, that doesn't stay either. And this is like a little tray that I bought at Value Village. And I put all my die cuts or cut apart sheets that I've cut apart. And the leftovers that I haven't used on layouts, that's where they go in my little tray. A lot of these are from Embellishments. I had bought a couple of the packages that she had for sale just before Christmas and cut them all apart and put them in there. So I use quite a few of those that have like the teal color in them. And so just keep searching to see what I could use and put them all down on my sheet. And now I pull out 2 tags that were part of a product share from the holiday Stampin' Up from 2013. One of the ladies was sharing a whole bunch of products, so you didn't get the whole pack of one thing. You just got a whole bunch, 1 or 2 items of each embellishment or ribbon or whatever that they were selling. So that way you got to have an idea what was for sale. And so those 2 tags, that's where I got them, from Stampin' Up. And here I'm looking for just little scraps of paper to use behind those tags because you could see through the background, through the hole in the tag, and I didn't like it, so I found some scraps to go behind them. So now I'm starting to glue down those doilies and some of the main embellishments, that tab, and getting those all set up. And so I got the top cluster pretty close to done, and now I'm gluing down some of the bits the embellishments that I'm putting on the side of the photo. And that little scrap of paper, and then another little tag. I really like how it's looking right now. And now I have this pattern paper, it's kind of like a coral, and it has like an arrow design on it. So I cut it apart, just following the lines in between the arrows, and I glue that on to just add a little bit more layering. And I cut it in 3 because I wanted to add another little cluster at the bottom of the page. And so now I'm just figuring out what else I could add. Here I have a little scrap of piece of paper that I want to add to that bottom cluster. I'm going through some of the tags that I pulled out, and I decide I need one more thing for that bottom cluster. So I'm looking through my embellishments again, and looking for something that has the same colors as the one I pulled for the other clusters. So I pull a few out, but I end up using the first little one that I pulled out, and that one's from the Scraptastic cut apart sheet that Ormaloo designs every month for the kit. So here I am gluing it down. Here's that little Scraptastic tag, and then the little coral piece with the arrow design. And I'm trying to see if there's any other embellishments that I want to add. Here I have the die cuts. It's Fancy Pants. I think it's So Loved die cuts. And there's one, it's like a circle with a little white heart in the center, and it has some doodle lines on it going in the circle, and I thought it was really cute. So I added that element at the top in the cluster. And I don't know where I went here. Oh, now I'm trying to figure out if there's any other embellishments I want to add. And I do add this paper clip. It's like a bubble, a word bubble with a heart in it. I think it's a Maya Road paper clip. And it's so cute, so I just put it there. I kind of put it over top of the tag. And here's my little storage container. I have some buttons and some wood veneers and stuff in there. And I decided to pull out these teal colored buttons. They pretty much match perfectly with the colors in the layout, so I decided to use those. And I had this little wood veneer camera, but I end up not using it. And here I find this other little tag, but I don't use that either. So I'm gluing down my buttons with the quick dry adhesive. I'm still trying to figure out where to put the camera, but like I said, it doesn't end up on the layout. So now I'm starting to pull out some sticker alphas. And at this point, I really don't know what my title is going to be. And I'm going through my other embellishments to see if there's anything else I'd like to add. Take out a few more alphabets. And I have a piece of wax paper and I grab my tweezers and I start putting some letters down. And here I'm going to spell the word ladies. But it's not going to remain. I'm not going to end up keeping that. Then I start to use this alpha and decide, no, that's not the right color. It just doesn't go with the layout. So then I pull out these October Afternoon Mini Market alphas and I spell out pretty, so to have pretty ladies. But then I look at it and I set it down and I decide, nope, that doesn't work for me either. I think it's because it was just too small. I wanted it to stand out a little bit more. And because that placemat, it makes a busy background. So here I take out these alphas and they're quite a bit bigger. And I put them on my sheet and I decide that I'm going to use those to spell the word ladies. So then I put away the other letters and I spell out lovely. So I'm going to, that's going to be my title. Lovely ladies. And I probably shouldn't have glued these down onto the layout yet. Even though I like the placement, I don't find that the word ladies stands out enough. So I pull out one of my Sharpie markers in blue. It's kind of like a teal blue. And I start coloring these in. And it's not perfect. It was a little bit hard to stay on the sticker perfectly. I did a pretty good job, but it's still not. A couple times I just wet off the sticker a little bit while I was filling them in. So I probably should have did it when it was still on the wax paper. But I kept going and I just filled them all in so that they all look the same. And you can see already how much brighter they are, and you can see the title much better. But then I decided I really didn't like the look that much, so I pulled out some white gesso and then a paintbrush. And I just start mixing the white gesso onto the letters. And it kind of, because the marker hadn't fully dried, it kind of blends all together. And it gives this really nice finish. So I put a couple coats on the letters until I have it just the way I like it. Here, I'll put one more coat. There. And I clean it up. And now I take, these are sequins that came out of the February Scraptastic kit. And they have the perfect colors to go on this layout. So I pick out a few of those. And decide where I'm going to place them. And then I take my quick dry adhesive again and glue them all down. So this layout took me quite a bit of time. Probably an hour and a half. More than what I usually can do a layout in about an hour. But this one took about an hour and a half, maybe even closer to 2 hours. But here I'm done. And I hope you like it. I think it turned out really nicely. And I like the way the letters turned out with the gesso on them. And I'm going to show you some close-ups here. My clusters and my letters. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks so much for watching.